welcome back to my channel. As you can clearly tell by the title, I'm going to be talking about the next 3 weeks in my journey, weeks 9, 10, and 11, and these are the weeks that I was in makeup class. So let's just jump right in and get started. The first couple of days in our makeup class, we got our kits, we got our books, and we learned the basics. We learned about a working SMA and a supply SMA, which is like your different setup areas. We learned how to dispense everything correctly. We learned how to keep everything sanitized, and we kind of learned the basics of our kit and what came with our Ultimate Face kit. And then we jumped right into bridal makeup. So we talked about building your bridal business, how you want to make business cards, a resume, how you want to have a price menu, how you want to like advertise yourself via social media, like names that you would want to choose, working with different vendors, with photographers, a whole bunch of crazy stuff like that. It was super helpful. It was a lot of information that I was wondering myself and didn't know where to get it. And then my teacher, who has done a lot of freelancing and a lot of weddings, was also able to give us a lot of her insight. So that was super helpful. And then we went and talked about makeup clearly for bridal situations, basically wanting to keep everything classic. You don't want to do anything that's too trendy. So like how we have the ombre lip going on, like you wouldn't want to do that for a wedding, because like who knows, in a year, 2 years, like that's not going to be a thing anymore. And when brides look back on their photos, they're not going to be like, what is wrong with my lips? Plus, the bridal business is like the biggest multimedia like thing you could ever do makeup for. So what that means is that you have to make them look good in person, you have to make them look good on film, you have to make them look good in photos, because if you think about it, you want the bride to look good when she's standing next to whoever she's going to be marrying, and like the people that are going to see her, they're going to be taking photos, and sometimes people have videographers, and all of those lightings are a little bit different, and what the camera sees is really often different than what is actually on the person. So you have to know how to do makeup that's appropriate for all of those settings. So that was really cool to learn. And then we had on our first Saturday of the week in that class, we brought in a model and we did a bridal photo shoot. So I brought in my little sister, and I'm going to put in some photos here. I just like curled up her hair and did like a basic bridal smoky eye look on her. It was super fun. We got to spend the whole day doing it. She came to lunch with me and she got to see my school, so that was super awesome. And I think it counted as a grade. To be quite honest, I don't really know how grades really worked during this part of my journey. I just know that we had to do face sheets for every makeup look that we did. So like you have like this like sheet of paper that has a face on it, and every time you do a makeup look, you have to recreate that on the face sheet. And then also we would always have to take pictures and then email them into our teacher, just for like proof that we were doing that. After bridal, I don't really remember what we went into, but I know the different things that we talked about. We talked about runway makeup, so like just Google it. Like I didn't really know what it was, to be honest, at first, but it just kind of depends on the designer, what makeup look you're going to be doing. So we talked a little bit how to get into that business, and then how you would coordinate that. We talked about special effects makeup, which this was so cool. I'm going to put in some pictures of stuff that me and my friends did in class. This was probably, even though like I got really sick, like I'm not gonna lie, like I almost threw up in class because some of this stuff looked so real to me. Like I thought it was super fun. The tools that my teacher taught us was like stuff that you have around the house you can use to make special effects makeup. You don't need like these crazy expensive kits, and everything that we have in our makeup kit we used to do special effects makeup. So like your makeup kit can be for bridal, it can be for special effects, it can be for runway. Everything you have you can use to do a whole bunch of different looks. That was super cool. As you can see, like some of these pictures are like road rash. We've put like a roach crawling out of my best friend. Like we just did stuff a lot on the arms because we were using liquid latex, and it really hurts when you're pulling it out of hair. So we were trying to do places that didn't really have like a lot of hair. But that was super fun. We spent like a whole day on that, and I really enjoyed it. Another thing that we learned was makeup throughout like the history of makeup, like 20s, 30s, 40s. We talked about the Gibson girls. We talked about like the creation of makeup, how it kind of came to be more popular, because it really hasn't been. I feel like the past like 6 years have really been a boom in the beauty industry. You see more and more like Ultas and Sephora's popping up more in places for people to go and buy, like the average woman to like go and buy makeup. And so we talked about kind of how, you know, it went from, oh, people don't really wear makeup, to like this big like, oh my goodness, everybody's wearing makeup. And I don't know, I can't talk. That was really cool to learn. And then we learned the differences between the 20s, 30s, and 40s, how to recreate them. We did some like pinup looks. We talked about like the W lip, and we got to like practice all of that on our friends in class. It was so much fun. And then the last week, what did we do? We took a test. So there is a test for the makeup class. You have like a little book. It's like a little binder, like spiral bound thing, and it has all of the information in there, and the test is from that, so it's really easy. There's a big part on sanitation, and then just like the other stuff, which my teacher covered, so we were fine, and the test was super easy. And then that last week we also brought in a model to do a character photo shoot, which this was super cool because it was after we had learned everything, and we could basically choose a character. We made a storyboard. So like on our iPads, we just like pulled photos that would like, that inspired us for the look. And we kind of like wrote a little story, and we had a character transformation. So I brought in my best friend. I'll put in pictures here. We transformed her from like a little girl who's getting ready to go to bed, who is dreaming about Halloween the next day, and in her dream she becomes like a candy princess. And so I transformed her into a candy princess. She's like naturally gorgeous, so the photos came out super awesome. I'll put a couple here. And that was so much fun because I got to bring in my friend again. I got to show her around school. I got to do her hair and makeup, and we brought in outfits. So like we got all dressed up. We walked around the mall where I'm at, and like we took a whole bunch of crazy photos. So that was super cool. I loved bringing in the models because it taught me how to like work quickly and effectively, and then it also taught us like how to work on somebody that's not in the makeup class. Because when I was like working on my friends in class, like they would be like, oh, don't forget you have to do this, don't forget this, and they would like understand if like I'm pulling on them weird, but like you can't do that when you have guests and clients. Like you have to kind of act in a different manner, and so bringing those in, it kind of helped you with that. Like I guess talking to them and like the way the touching their face, like some people think it's awkward. I work at Macy's and I do a lot of foundation matching and like putting makeup on people, so I've just kind of gotten over it. But for some people it was pretty weird. And then the last day in our makeup class was like a super Saturday thing going on at school where like we all got to dress up. We were on different teams, and it was for the people on the floor, but it was basically seeing like how many guests it could take. So after we did a lot of our stuff in makeup class, we actually got to go out on the floor and help. I guess it was our second to last day. Yeah, we got to go on the floor and like help people. So that day I actually got my first like makeup guest, so like I didn't even know, and I did a homecoming makeup on this girl, and it was super awesome. But she wanted something basic like a brown smoky eye, and we put some lashes on her. She was so cute. And that was super fun because literally the last day of makeup class, I was out there putting makeup on somebody on the floor. It was incredible. And then we shadowed on the floor again, which what you do is you just find somebody who's further along on your journey. Ours were picked for us, and I got to shadow my friend Abby, who she is in creative. And so like I just followed her around her normal day, like a Saturday on the floor. So she was taking a guest and was doing a color application, and I helped her with that. She showed me kind of around the floor like the different things, like how we go and get color from the dispense leaders, you know, how you obviously you know how to mix color, but she kind of showed me a little bit more about that. And it was just kind of like the way the floor runs, how you get your tickets, meet a guest, stuff like that. And she taught me a lot and was super awesome. And that was it. That was my 3 weeks. It went by so quickly. I couldn't even believe it because then I was on the floor. So these 11 weeks, they were a lot of education. The makeup class was run basically just like core. You were doing theory for the morning, and then the second half of the day you were doing hands-on application. I'm not gonna lie, it kind of got old. I kind of was like, okay, I'm just ready like to do it. I'm ready to go on the floor. I'm ready to do hair. I'm ready to do makeup. But I was like, you know, calm down, just like take all this education in. And it's really helped me. And I learned so much. I did not know all of this about makeup, so it was super helpful. So I really enjoyed it. I definitely thought that it was worth the extra 3 weeks and money, because the makeup program is an extra 100 hours. So instead of being a 1,200-hour program, it's a 1,300-hour program. And you do pay for your makeup kit and a little bit more those 3 weeks you have to pay for you being in school. I definitely think it was worth it. I'm now a certified makeup artist because of it, and that's super cool. I can do people's makeup now. I'm certified. You don't have to be certified to do makeup, but I now have one certification, and it's an awesome stepping stone and building bridge to get me where I want to go. If you guys have any questions, or if there's anything that I wasn't like specific about, or you just want to know more about, just feel free to leave them in the comments below. Like I always say, I'm here to help you guys, and just to share my journey with you, because I'm having the time of my life. If you want to see the rest of my journey, don't forget to subscribe. There's like a button, it's like somewhere, I don't know which corner it is. You can subscribe, and then you will be notified when I post more videos about my journey. And then if you enjoyed this, please give it a big thumbs up. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Bye.